Well, everybody, it finally happened. This is just a quick little update, of course, because there's not a whole lot to say. I posted a video to the big channel about this like an hour ago, so I won't repeat all of the nitty-gritty details because we just don't really need to. But Starfield finally received an update. After all this time, finally. It finally happened. What exactly happened? Well, this is specifically within the beta branch, so it's not even super officially public yet, but they've not really said or done anything with Starfield for this entire year. And this update that they've posted now includes some of the most like unshocking things ever. The primary top ticket item, the main thing this update does is it provides minor improvements to format and display in creation menus after months. After being a no-show at the Xbox showcase, not saying or doing anything, everybody wondering if they've canceled support for the game. Everybody's wondering what the hell is happening. They updated the in-game shop menu. So there's that. Priorities, ladies and gentlemen, priorities. They addressed an issue that could cause extreme temperature gear to appear incorrectly, minor improvements to sorting in the missions menu, and then general crash and stability fixes. Okay. They do say specifically, looking ahead, we're continuing work on future updates, and we'll share more about the exciting things we have planned for Starfield in the coming months, but that's it. Bear in mind, they have not said anything in whatever, it's been since March. However, April, May, June, July, 4 months. In March, they replied to somebody saying, "We know you're eager for an update. We truly appreciate your passion for Starfield. The team's been hard at work, and while we're not ready to share specific details just yet, we have a lot of exciting things planned for the game this year that we can't wait to talk about when the time is right. We're always listening and taking your feedback to heart. Thanks for being part of the journey with us." And then they went silent for another 4 months, and they come back with an update to the in-game shop. Because of course they did. Because of course. Like, what else would they do? Fix the game? No. Are you crazy? Are you insane? Of course they're not doing that. It's so on the nose, dude. Where even is the game? I want to show you. I want to show you in real time. Share this with you in your heart song so that you can see what I'm talking about, okay? Because Starfield, at this point, it really does embody everything that is wrong with BGS. Like, the meme for years was that Bethesda was going to put out a game and then let modders fix it, right? We've all heard the memes. We've all heard the stories. That's what they do. But that was like kind of true. They would still update it and do stuff. But, you know, the extent of them letting modders fix it was basically just because they were lazy, right? Now, there is a direct incentive for them not to fix stuff ever. And the reason is because they have the creations menu now. And that creations menu, you know what it does? It allows for them to sell you those fixes. Do you have a problem with gear progression? It's a big problem in Starfield. In the unmodded game, I played much too long stretches without finding gear that made me want to switch my current loadout. Many rewards and treasure chests felt disappointing, therefore. The reason for this was that I stumbled early on over gear pieces with stats that were vastly out of the loot progression sequence, which happens to a lot of people because it's an open game and BGS doesn't have like a dynamic loot system. They have a set fixed one. So they went in and fixed it. Look at all this description of how it works. Linearity, slow travel, all these different things. This is available for $3. I did a lot of digging. I asked people around, including some modders that know what they're talking about. And I'm not going to share their names because they've all signed NDAs and they can't be specific. But I'm pretty sure I know what the split is, okay? And again, this probably is different depending on which tier of creator you are. So for example, the Watchtower expansion DLC thing that's made by a modder that's been really highly praised. People are saying this is the actual first expansion, even though it's not made by them. This, I'm guessing Kingath gets a better cut. I'm guessing because it's a more valuable thing for them versus the standard cut they give to these guys. But my understanding now, after speaking to people who would know, and BGS could come out and correct me if I'm wrong, but they haven't because I think this is right. My understanding is that of the $1 that is spent on an item. Okay, so we got $1. 40 cents goes to BGS. 30 cents goes to the platform holder. So if you're buying the microtransaction through the Xbox platform, you pay 30 cents to them, whether it's Game Pass or on the Xbox hardware. Or if you played the game through Steam, Steam takes the 30% cut. And so this goes to, we'll just say the platform. Okay, that's the platform cut. Might still be Microsoft, might be Steam. And then the remaining 30% goes to the modder. So for each dollar you spend, 30 cents is ending up in the modder's pocket. And if you're playing through Game Pass or through Xbox, 70% of what's being spent is going to Microsoft/BGS. Now, it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. But what's my big problem with this? It's that they literally now have a significant financial incentive to never fix any of this. Oh, we have a gear progression problem. We could fix it and send out the update for free. That means we have to pay for the developers to fix it. And then we post it. It goes to everybody for free. Or we can let the modder do it. We didn't have to pay them. And in fact, they put it up. We're going to take 40 to 70% effectively of that $3. So they fixed our game and we get paid for it. Back in the day when the mods, like the standard mod package was just through Nexus, and that's what it was. Console mods weren't really a thing, or if they were, it was just free, you know? Back then, it was just their laziness. Like they wouldn't fix things because they were lazy and they knew the modders would fix it. Now they have an incentive to never fix it because modders will just come along, do it better, faster, and they don't have to pay anybody for it. And in fact, they will get paid for doing nothing. Like this is fundamentally the problem culturally within BGS, is that they have created a platform that incentivizes them doing significantly less and even incentivizes them breaking things. Because the example I used in the big video I just did on the main channel, I use the example of Elder Scrolls 6, right? One of the age-old problems within Bethesda games is inventory management, with like things being too heavy, with your stuff being over encumbered, right? They could fix that. They could fix that, and they could come out and be like, okay, well, we overhauled all of the inventory systems. We did all this stuff so that it's not a hassle. It's not a headache. You don't really have to think about it too much because people said that it wasn't fun and they didn't like it. They could do that, or they could leave it in its frustrating state, and then you can just buy an unlimited carrying capacity mod for $1, and then they get 40 cents off that. So they created a problem, and then they just sell you back the solution. Why not? Yeah, exactly. Why fix it when you can make them pay for the fix, and then you get paid, and you didn't have to do anything anyways? It's so stupid. But this has become the standard, unfortunately, for them. And the real unfortunate part is that now this has been going on for what, 7 years? Because the initial announcement of paid mods was through the Creation Club, and I believe that was 2018. Now it's become standardized. Now it's considered normal, and none of this is considered weird or strange within the BGS community, because they've conditioned the gamers within their community to become used to it. And now what do we hear all the time? Whenever I talk about this, I end up with like BGS fans coming in saying, well, Luke, this is a way for us to support the modders, which is why we like paid mods. Like, bro, think about it for 2 seconds. If you're BGS, like put on your businessman hat. If you work at BGS and your goal is to create a platform where you can sell mods to people, because that's free money for you for years and years and years after the game launches, how are you going to sell it? Guys, this is a way for us to make money perpetually without having to do anything. Or are you going to say, yeah, you give us money for the paid mods, and this is our way of supporting modders? And some of them are verified. They're what are called verified modders, where they get paid up front to create certain mods, and they don't pay out like a royalty structure. They don't pay them out cuts of the revenue. They get paid up front. Almost just like contracted employees, but it's different for everybody. It's different for everybody. Some of them work that way, others don't. It's just depends. Come on. There we go. Catastrophic damage. So it's not super clear how this split works at the end of the day, but that's also, I think, very intentional. BGS could have come out and said, this is how we do it. We pay modders this much, and we pay them that much because we care about their well-being, and this isn't our work, so we're not too concerned with milking them dry. So, you know, we could take 40%, but we're only gonna take 10%. The modder takes 90. They could come out and say that, but they don't. And I think it's because the actual number that they're taking is much higher than the public probably thinks it is. And but it's been pitched as this great pro-consumer, pro-modder way of supporting the modders. And it does technically give them some cash. It does. But it gives them significantly less, I think, than you would probably expect. And it also is just a built-in incentive for them to never have to fix anything. And if anything, it creates an incentive for BGS to actively create problems so that they can sell you the solution through mods. Come on, you bastard. See, notice how all of my weapons are crazy powerful against these guys and all the level scaling is screwed up? There is a fix for that. For $3. It's so stupid. The whole thing is stupid. So they have updated it. They have technically updated Starfield, not in the way I think anybody was expecting them to. And you know, I can't say I'm that surprised or shocked that after all this time, the one improvement that they're making is for the in-game store effectively. I can't say I'm surprised. It just is what it is. If we go to the actual discussion board, let me show you what some of the fans of the game are saying. Okay. Let me just show you little teaser. Look at this. Okay. People start blowing him up for being positive. After 7 months of radio silence, I've got to say this is quite disheartening. I'm not demanding free or new content from a single player game, but to see that in all the time that has passed, there's not even an attempt to improve the gameplay loop, the lack of uniquely generated POIs, the neutered legendary system, or the ridiculous level scaling. It's just saddening. I'm still holding on to some hope that the DLC number 2 can be an honest improvement to the game, but to see so little acknowledgement from Bethesda or even an attempt at all to improve things is just disappointing. It's probably easier to just move on, but nobody wants a game to be bad. We come here to play good games and enjoy life. I hope things can steer in a better direction. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. What a joke. It's a Bethesda game. What did you expect? It's a nothing burger. Shocker. Please remake Morrowind. Hope this fixes the shipbuilder save load crash. I don't think it did. So we buy games to beta test it now, I see. Yep. So that's the update for Starfield. I do think we will see an update soon. I think that they're going to bring it to Gamescom. My official prediction, locking it in now, is that they're going to go to Gamescom in August. And I think they're going to announce, just like they did with Indiana Jones, that they are going to be releasing it on PS5. And I think they're going to be releasing it as a complete edition with 2 expansions, Shattered Space and whatever the new one is. And I think they're going to sell it at full price. I think it's going to be $70. I previously thought it was going to be $80, but this morning Microsoft walked back the $80 price point. So I don't think they're doing that anymore. But I do think they're going to try to release it at full price on PlayStation. We'll see how that goes. But that's my expectation. So there you go. A little more Starfield talk. It's not as I said in the main channel video, it's not a day that ends in Y unless I can talk about Starfield a little bit. So there you go.